Chase the things that I just can't have. Take a pill when I forget that life is short, but it's just that I don't wanna lose you.
Yeah, I really like that. I think that that's a huge plus, especially if you're, a songwriter and you want some harmonies, but you don't really know where to start. You could use this as a scratch track. You could use it for inspiration. If you're a producer and you need to generate vocals, or you just want to give like the last chorus a lift, this is so cool. This is an old mix here that I did for an artist. And I have this up because there was a particular problem that I really struggled with. If we look at the notes that the artist sent me, in the vocals, they asked me to add harmonies throughout the song. So I didn't have anything great at the time. I felt like a nice low harmony would work for the chorus. Now let me play you the song and I'll show you the harmony I created.
Chase the things that I just can't have. Take a pill when I forget that.
I buried it, but it served its purpose. You can hear it there padding out the chorus. But if I was solo this harmony, you'll hear just how bad it sounds on its own.
The things that I just can't.
Yeah, I mean that's why I had to bury it so low. And Anthony, if you're watching, I'm sorry, I didn't know that Audimee existed. I want to show you how I would approach this now using something called Audimee. Audimee creates AI vocals. I did a video a few months back about creating an instant double track, which can save you hours of editing and getting your double tracks in time, and you can just grab an instant one, and it's pretty incredible. But now I want to look at this Make Harmonies tab here, which is a harmony generator, and how we can use Audimee to generate a harmony like the band asked for. So I'll load the main vocal in here and pick the key. It's predicted B major, and every time I've used this, it's got it right every single time, so I haven't even had to work that out. So we'll select B major as the key, and we'll add a harmony track. Audimee has a lot of different singers that you can use, which is great. So I don't know who this dude here is, but if we swap it, I usually go for the rock, punk vocals, because that's the kind of thing that I do. Let's scroll down and use Johnny Depp's cousin here, Harold. If you look here, it's got melody, which will give us the same vocal line as the main track, but we've got these options that we can pick from. And looking at this, I think a lower third would sound pretty cool and sort of give that emotion I was talking about. But I've noticed here we've got this root drone. There's a particular reason why I want to try this out, and I'll get to that in a second. This is going to sing the root note underneath the main melody, and it always creates harmonies that you don't necessarily expect when you've got that root note playing off the main melody. But there's actually a feature of Audimee that I'd like to get into, which makes it even more powerful than this harmony generator by itself. So let's hear what this is giving us.
Chase the things that I just can't have. Take a pill when I forget that life is short, but it's just that I don't wanna lose you. And is it all in our hands? Is this the best that it?
So that sounds great, and that's everything I wanted when I had to create that harmony myself, and it sounded so fake I had to bury it. But I actually want to draw your attention to this editor button here, and I didn't even realize this when I was first playing around with the harmony creator. But this is super powerful. So we've got that drone, and I think for the most part I want that drone note in there, but there's a couple of times when I feel like I can make it more interesting. So if I click that editor, we've got that whole generated harmony here, and we can actually change the notes within it, so it's fully customizable, and this blew my mind. Let's zoom in here and go through it. So for the most part, I want to keep it the same.
Chase the things that I just can't have.
But it's that second half that I'd like to play with, which starts here.
And is it all in our hands?
I just think bringing that drone up with the main melody might sound cool. Let's give it a try.
And is it all in our? Is it all in our hands? Is this
Yes, you see how I bring it up there? We'll do it again for the next section.
in our hands? Is this the best that? Is this the best that it gets? Oh yeah.
Now I'll bump these notes up too and see if they sound good, but I might retract this. Let's just see. It's the oh yeah. I want to just make it a bit more interesting.
Gets. Oh yeah.
Might bring that last bit down.
Oh yeah. I won't stop myself.
Perfect. And let's see if that actually sounds good with the main vocal in there.
And is it all in our hands? Is this the best that it gets? Oh yeah, I won't stop.
Okay, so back to the editor. That's not quite what I wanted, so we'll have another little play. I just wanted to bring that middle note down again so it sort of goes up and down. Let's hear that.
And is it all in our heads? Is this the best that it gets? Oh yeah, I won't stop.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite cool. I like that. I mean, how powerful is that? So if we want to compare that to the lower third that I was thinking about, let's add that in. So we'll go for Johnny Depp's cousin who had a bit of a harder life. Again, Harold, I think his name was. Yep. So mute the drone and we'll go for the lower third. See what that sounds like.
Chase the things that I just can't have. Take a pill when I forget that life is short, but it's just that I don't wanna lose you. And is it all in our heads? Is this the best that it?
Yeah, I really like that. I'm not sure it will fit with the root drone as well, but might as well hear it.
Chase the things that I just can't have. Take, and is it all in our heads? Is this the best that it gets?
Yeah, so I actually think I'm going to go with the lower third. But being able to edit that root drone is a great tool to have too. And that's what's so good about this is I don't need to go back, have to, like if it was me, I have to go and sing it, get it all in there and then work out what ideas I want. I can just get them generated straight away and it keeps your creativity happening. And I think that that's a huge plus, especially if you're, a songwriter and you want some harmonies, but you don't really know where to start. You could use this as a scratch track. You could use it for inspiration. If you're a producer and you need to generate vocals or you just want to give like the last chorus a lift, this is so cool. So let's give Johnny Depp's weird cousin a break. Have a look at what other rock vocalists that we have here. This Blake guy, I used him before. He's like a full-on belter. I like this guy. But the beauty of this, like I said, we can just have a play, find out what we like. So I'll mute the weird cousin and let's go.
Chase the things that I just can't have. Take a pill when I forget that life.
I mean, that might be a good one to lift the last chorus with. It's giving me ideas and it's keeping me inspired. And I think that that's so powerful. Or we could have Blake sing the lower third instead of Johnny Depp's weird cousin. Let's see.
Chase the things that I just can't have. Take a pill when I forget that life is.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, he's got quite a sonically different voice to the weird cousin one. It actually sort of sounds more separated from the main vocal like that. That might be cool. That might be what you want. It almost sounds like two singers rather than like a vocal layer. It really does help. Let's do things that we could never really manage. We could never do quickly in our heads. Like we'll go for the lower sixth, but we'll go up an octave. And in a matter of seconds, we can hear what that sounds like.
Chase the things that I just can't have. Take a pill.
Interesting. Let's bring in the lower third with that octave up lower sixth.
Chase the things that I just can't have. Take a pill when I forget that life is short, but it's just that
I mean, it's adding so much texture to that chorus, and Anthony, man, I'm so sorry if you are watching that I didn't have this when I mixed your song, because we could have done some cool stuff. So if I go to convert now, I can get an export of that, and Audimee will actually give us each harmony separately in a zip file, a processed and unprocessed version. And I think with the latest update, what they've done now is they've nudged the harmonies away from the main vocal, so they're not so mathematically perfect. Before in Logic, I would have had to gone in and maybe shift it around or use like a doubler effect or something to try and make it sound like a double-tracked vocal. Okay, so we've converted it. Let's download that and I'll get it into Logic. Yeah, just quickly as I was saying, if you take a look at this here, we've got this chorus main zip file, which is what we've downloaded from Audimee. So if we unpack that, here we are, processed and unprocessed. See, it says here panning and time shift. We can go with that or we can go with the unprocessed one. And we've got those 3 different harmonies that we created there as WAV files. Let's get them into this project. Okay, so let's hear that. We'll bring in that lower third that I wanted to hear into the mix now.
chase the things that I just can't have. Take a pill when I forget that life is short, but
I mean, if you compare that to the harmony I had, it just changes the game. So mixing wise, I actually think we can pull some of the bottom end out as there's a vocal layer here. Probably do with being a little brighter, maybe a little less mids. Quickly do that.
chase the things that I just chase the things that I just can't have.
Oh man, I wish I could go back and do this song again with these harmonies in there. Let's try it with that lower sixth that we put the octave up on.
Chase the things that I just can't have. Take a pill when I forget that life is short, but it's just that.
See, I could just imagine having that lower third in there and on the last harmony adding in that lower sixth octave up and really bringing that last chorus to life. And I've done that without having to sit, work all those harmonies out. You know, before it was so difficult. Now I can do it in seconds and it keeps your creativity running. It keeps that inspiration. Or if you're a producer, you can just do these things and like, you know, give an extra like 10% to the band that they weren't expecting, especially in a scenario like this where they asked me to generate harmonies. You know, there's no working out whether the band want that or not. They wanted it. I wish I could have provided it to them at this level. But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, go check out Audimee. There are loads of voices. I've got a previous video on generating a double track. So you can go back and watch that. This is before they've done all their updates on that. So things are a lot better now. I know that AI gets a bad name, but it doesn't have to take the place of your originality and your authenticity. It can actually help you. And I hope that this video helps you too and gets you better sounding songs, better sounding productions and saves you loads of time because it has me. So as always, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you at the next one.